We're back, bitches.
Indeed, we are. Time unfreezes, and we are back once again. I'll unpause the clock. God knows how long it's been since we unpaused that.
Yes.
The Our story began with curiosity. There it is. A willingness to brave the unknown. A young wizard by the name of Llyvelin Arnwood, who was brought up and told that magic was evil. Magic was everything wrong with the world. And yet that still didn't stop him from choosing to plunge its depths, uncover the secrets of the weave. And in doing so, he paid the ultimate price. His family were practically murdered in Palthor, burnt for his sins. And so he fled, wandering, trying to find answers to the strange book that he'd unearthed. It led him all the way to none other than Baba Yaga herself. Meanwhile, other adventurers were also drawn to the dancing hut, whether it be for brotherly love or to find a lost friend. But eventually, the Tan, guardsman of Weep, the swimming city, Laftril, the moon elf, princess of the Gilt Leaf, they all gathered in this strange and alien world of Baba Yaga's hut. And there they kind of followed their own diverging stories. This strange timeline, timey-wimey stuff happened in Baba Yaga's. But there were basically what boils down to is alternate versions of that story, alternate timelines. And it culminated in the unfolding of the hut and the destruction of the shattered city when one young naive druid known as Uriah accidentally tampered with the artifact known as the Tesseract. As such, our characters, along with as one of the servants of the hut itself, Estelia, were plunged into different directions, and some of them were trapped within the Tesseract. Some of them were thrown into the world of dreams, the Feywild. This is where they sort of all met each other, as well as a new character known as Elravan. They seem to be native to the Feywild. And it's here that it seems like time and space unraveled. Something odd about the world they were living in just didn't seem right. And the Feywild was corrupted. It's supposed to be a mirror world of the material plane, and it turns out that characters were in a dream within a dream. Except what happens in the Feywild, if that's a reflection of the material, then was everything they did in the dream real as well? Too confusing for the actual players to comprehend. They sort of shrugged and moved along, but nonetheless, they were freed from this strange, weird world where they had returned the angels um, of Mount Celestia back to their rightful place, and got the bearer of the heavens to place back the stars. This was rewarded by Queen Una herself, the archfey of stars and dreams, and they finally put long-awaited rest to one of their fallen friends, Orin, who became a constellation in the night sky. After that, the party decided to leave the Feywild and venture together. They had made friends of each other, and the Tan wanted to return back to Weep to see what happened in the time they'd been gone. But once they returned to the Feywild, they then realized that many years had since passed, and the city they once knew as the capital had completely shattered, springing forth all kinds of strange questions and mysteries. But first things first, they needed to head home. This is where they met the colorful and carefree Andy, and Laffy departed from the party. They uncovered a plot to seemingly take over, like kidnap people in Weep, and I won't go into the full details of Weep, but as we all know, it was a dreadful last encounter with a monstrous creature where unfortunately Elravan met their demise. But they had uncovered some important information. There was some sort of chest within the dungeon that contained a robe of the Archmagi. It seemed to belong to a powerful wizard, and it was left here as some sort of anchor. But what they were doing, negotiating with monsters, is still a little bit of a mystery, but they set this whole place up for a reason, apparently to protect Weep from something. Some sort of fail-safe. The Tan and Patience, one of the angels who decided to stay with the party, stayed behind in Weep, and you guys were gonna set off to help another one of the friends in the party who I almost failed to introduce the whole time, but Kesh'an, yes, the rogue turned monk trying to seek enlightenment. He had a scroll that he'd just finally got back after all your items had been confiscated, and it told him to seek out the Stratus Archipelago. There he would hopefully find another step forwards in enlightenment. You set sail with the Tan's grandfather and found a strange island in turmoil. Two clans seem to be having a feud with one another, but you settled their differences, cured them of their curses, and found the actual temple of the sun and moon itself. And there Kesh'an found a sort of strange watery fountain, and he drank in the water, and as soon as he did, he began to learn. He learned all the knowledge of language. Just every spoken word was now easily understandable to him. With that, he began to set off towards the Clawed Coast. Yes, I almost failed to mention Karius, the knight from Weep, a bodyguard. He's a daredevil, skydiving, impulsive individual. Say hi, Karius.
I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, played by James. Still the curious wizard, Llyvelin, continued onwards, played by Jamey.
How did you do?
How did it? Okay. And joining this crew was Eirina, a wizard. Supposed to be a wizard, but ended up kind of getting a little bit in trouble at the academy. Ended up forging a pact with an ancient blade that only sought to burn things at first, but Eirina being a bit of a rebel, and Candlewick, the sword, needing to be sort of tempered, they found a kinship in each other. And turns out that same mage in the dungeon who'd placed that anchor, the one who the robes belong to, is in fact Eirina's master, their teacher, who taught them everything they know. They now seek answers to the Shattered City. But first, they needed to return to the Clawed Coast, where Malone's tower resided. And they are played by Steph.
I'm a librarian.
Was a librarian before she burnt down half of it and was exiled.
I'm
from
still a
Canada.
librarian, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, she's still
Probably
burnt down, I
bad
guess.
books.
And turns out the Clawed Coast is also home to Andy, who has been searching for their mother this whole time, who they've left a trail of sort of clues and breadcrumbs. One of them being, in fact, on the ship that they sailed to the Stratos archipelago. And they are played by Kirstie. Say hi.
Where's the buffet? I was told there was going to be a buffet.
We'll get you some bread later.
Thank you.
And Kesh'an, who is in a deep meditative state right now, he's still going over the knowledge that he's acquired. But anyway, when you got to the Clawed Coast,
We know his intro
Yeah.
is "May your day be as spicy as the next."
yes,
Or
Thank you.
Kia.
Indeed. At this point, the party had forged a unbreakable bond, and they had named themselves the Kiasters. And when they got back to the Clawed Coast, they found out that the land had been terrorized by blue dragons, and he fended them off, but also went to actually their actual lair and negotiated with them. This is where Eirina sort of learned some of the history of what's going on here and the nuance behind why they came here. It's all apparently because of sort of some sort of love triangle, I believe, between dragons, and as well as their land has become overrun. And these guys are the more peaceful of the blue dragons, but some of them didn't see it that way and wanted to expand their territory. And so these loose cannons needed to be put down, and eventually it culminated in a standoff in Karius's family's domain, basically on your farm. And yeah, you took them out, securing a stable environment between the denizens of the Clawed Coast and the Blue Dragonflight. You also returned to the city of Gaidia, where you uncovered a what do you call it? A plot to gain rule and dominion over the Clawed Coast. Turns out the Sultan himself had been working under a powerful genie-like creature known as Nefriti, and they're also the ones kind of responsible for sparking the war. They had made a pact in order to win that war with the Nefriti, and the Night of 1,000 Flames, I think it was called Flaming Tears, was a terrible disaster that basically it was a slaughter on one side. And ever since, the Ifriti has basically had the Sultan wrapped around its little finger. But during said showdown, a terrible fiery spell went off and caught Llyvelin in it, and he was claimed by the flames. The party, not willing to let his sacrifice be in vain. Excuse me, I need some water. They sought a way to bring him back, a way to resurrect him, and they did have one ally who could do so. His name is Chadnir, and he was unfortunately out of diamonds, and he did know a plane that does have them, of course, but you would need to find a way to get there. The plane of the Earth plane connects to the mineral plane, where there is an abundance of gemstones. But in trying to learn of its location, you also uncovered a dungeon in the deserts, And it was there that you discovered there was a powerful bard, a one of the very few remaining muses, and she was also in contact with Andy's father, who thought previously dead. Turns out he had a backup plan, and when you found your father's remains and you tried to cast Speak with Dead on them, you realized very quickly that it didn't work, and that was either one of two reasons: either their soul was in a place that it couldn't communicate, or he wasn't dead at all. And when you finally found this muse, she explained that yes, she had worked with Andy's father, and they'd created a failsafe, and they showed you to this chamber where there was this glass kind of almost container, and there were the remains of spell components that hinted at a powerful spell by the name of Clone, where if someone dies upon their death, they are instead sort of resurrected. And this spell seems to be one of the hidden songs within Andy's violin itself. And needing answers as to whether he's still alive or not, you follow the breadcrumbs, knowing that the same spell he used to resurrect it also requires diamonds. And if fate would have it, he may be in the same place that you're going to get diamonds. And so the fulcrum of the earth plane shifted, opened up a doorway, and you plunged yourselves into the sevenfold maze of the earth plane, descending its layers one by one, consorting with what are they called, Dal, and the other genie folk there. You also did a a performance in this kind of like talent show, where it almost came to a conclusion. You almost got declared the winner before it culminated in an assassination attempt of the Grand Sultan himself down here, the great Khan of the Dao. And that basically lit a fire under your asses as you were entangled with the person trying to assassinate them. They were merely using you as a distraction during this whole thing. And now the Dao basically ran you down through the maze. You had to get through layer after layer. And you were also on a time crunch because in, I believe, 10 days, Chadnir agreed that he would try to gate you back, a powerful summoning spell that would bring you back to the material plane. It was a grueling gauntlet all the way through. Kesh'an met some goblins who spoke of a treasure at the end of this maze, and it seems to coincide with one of his scrolls, the Diamond Soul. And yeah, as luck would have it, seems like it was all lined up. Andy's father was indeed alive. You got to meet them at the end of the talent show, and they escaped with you. And yeah, it was a touching moment, a touching reunion. But nonetheless, you made it all the way through, got to the mineral plane, where you defeated a whole bunch of strange alien creatures. And unfortunately, Karius got petrified on one of the traps, but knowing that diamonds were in reach, you knew you could unpetrify him. You just needed to make the final push.
Hmm.
And entering into the final chamber, just this massive cavern filled to the brim with diamonds was at your disposal. And the chamber beyond it, Kesh'an felt a calling. As you wandered in, he met with these almost celestial, like elemental beings. Angels made of diamonds kind of approached him and spoke in a language you guys didn't understand, but it was mostly for Kesh'an to hear anyway. And it was seemingly bestowed great wisdom upon Kesh'an. Meanwhile, you guys grabbed all the diamonds you could, a portal opened up, and Chadnir kind of beckoned you through. He also gathered a bunch of diamonds as well. And oh yeah, to make matters even worse, not only were the Dao after you, during your during your dungeon delving, you also came across a imprisoned primordial creature, and one way to get through the maze was to unleash this creature.
Yeah, we don't
And
need to
have
talk
it-
about that one.
Mm,
It was not a
Yeah.
party decision.
We don't talk about
Mm.
Bruno.
Indeed. Well, it's worth mentioning since it's important context for why Karius might behave the way he is, because it was he who basically flipped the switch and shattered the prison. It was his decision alone to cause absolute destruction to the Earth plane, and the primordial being known as the Nova Blast Worm bore a tunnel up through the Earth plane, breaking maze after maze until it reached the surface and beyond. Who knows? It could join to an adjacent plane and wreak havoc there, but either way, it's on a course of destruction, and you guys got out of there before it got basically collapsed in on itself. Jumping through the portal, you finally return back to Chad's casino, where he's like asking so many questions as to what happened, but not wasting any time. The party went back into the magnificent mansion, got right up to the place where they had laid Llyvelin to rest. And Chadnir's sort of apprentice, Elias.
We'd gone through the whole Earth
Kesh'an.
plane with them
Yep.
Oh, of course, he'd gone through the whole gauntlet. Yeah,
and got completely forgotten.
Yeah, well, there's so much to recap, but
I
yes,
know.
he had gone through the whole thing. He also was a key player in all of this, especially during the performance and uncovering the secrets of the maze. But nonetheless, Elias also had mastered a certain spell to resurrect them, and I guess Chadnir. This is like Chadnir basically recounting this story in his own like memoirs. I
Yeah.
imagine. Like, he's the one recapping this all, and he's like, and then I showed up just in the nick of time, jumped through the portal, let loose a face-melting solo to protect them. I had all my underlings gather all the diamonds and treasures for me, of course, and brought them back to the casino, where I, alone, valiantly brought back Llyvelin in a powerful resurrection spell that only I could do. The great Chadnir. And brought back their best friend, and I was heralded as the hero of the moment. And then at this point, Snurg's like leaning over and like, "That's not how it went, Chadnir. You're getting it all wrong. Like, not now, Snurg. You're not even the real Snurg. You're just a butler."
He is literally a tuxedo snug.
Yeah, he's got a little tuxedo.
I'm just imagining like a version of Elravan walks past and go, yes, that's not a very good way to tell a story, and then just vanishes.
Yeah, well, at least I don't exaggerate the truth. Write it how it actually went. Ah, fine.
But you can skip my bit.
Describe the actual story. No, that's gone in. That bit was one of the highlights, the whole story. But it seems he scribbles out or like rips out the page where he was the one who resurrected Llyvelin and says, fine. And then Elias came along and stole the thunder. Snurg's like, right, that's it. Let me write this bit. And it budges Chadnir aside. And we see the party are gathered in the magnificent mansion. And it is, in fact, Elias. Do you want to describe how you are the one who actually brings back Llyvelin?
He crushes up the diamond with his means of fabrication and sprinkles it across his loot and places it on Llyvelin's body. And as he starts to play the strings, it's like he's trying to find the right sound wave to match what Llyvelin's heartbeat should be, to try and bring his heartbeat back to life.
Beautiful. Yeah, the
Yeah.
plucking of strings matched to the rhythm of his heart. And we see Llyvelin's once charred body suddenly rejuvenate. Flesh and color flush back into his skin, and you see his hair which was once burnt to a crisp, now suddenly flood out of his head. And yeah, it's looking healthier than ever. And of course, he's still wearing he's wearing his old robes, right? Not his robe of the Archmagi. So, because that one's looking like it's a bit worse for wear, needs repairs.
mean,
That
yeah,
one's with
but
Tarek,
Llyvelin-
right?
Yeah.
It's with Tarek, yeah, exactly.
Well, this one isn't magical, so it would be burnt into all sorts of pieces.
Yeah, it would. So
But-
everything else on your body is
But Elias will
brand new.
fabricate it and try and fix it how he thinks it should look. And with a little bit of regeneration in there, because I think when Elias met the party, he regenerated Llyvelin's skin anyway.
Looking on intently as this resurrection happens is Grimoire, Llyvelin's animated sentient book. And I guess that's rubbing two tentacles together, almost as if one was rubbing their hands together, but their eye kind of squints and the book leans forward towards Llyvelin. And yeah, you come back to the land of the living, where what's the first thing you said as you came back?
Yeah. So, that's what death feels like. Ah,
Death indeed was a little bit strange. You remember being approached by a purple-skinned tiefling, and
Yeah.
they said that they could offer you a way to continue serving and living and learning your magic, but it'd be under the service of him
and I
in
told
an
him to
afterlife.
jog on
Yes, you did.
because I knew
Yeah.
who exactly he was.
You knew Glory well, and his ways, and his ultimate goal of usurping his demonic father. Anyway, thankfully, your friends had your back, and they are all gathered around you. You can see the one who brought you back is a stranger, however. And Kesh'an, as soon as you come back to life, I imagine sort of backs away, and there's sort of a guilty look on Kesh'an's face. He's clearly happy that you're back, but there's maybe just a sense of like, he doesn't want to have to face the music just yet. Because it was Kesh'an himself who could have saved Llyvelin in that moment, and instead tried to save Eirina, the fire mage. There was a fire spell that killed everyone, and he chose to save the fiery mage, who's resistant to fire.
The
Yeah,
resistant one.
Yeah, I'm not
Yep.
rubbing salt in the wound, but yeah, either way, Kesh'an seems to back away a little bit nervous, maybe. So we'll say that, he's hiding for now. But everyone else, you see your friend brought back to life, and there was much rejoicing.
Yeah. Karius will perhaps sort of nod, smile slightly, go, "Welcome back, Llyvelin. Good to see you." And then we'll just walk off to go to his room.
Oh, well, that's right. Bye then. He's sort of just like
Don't
rubbing.
worry about it. It's been a real ordeal to get you fixed. We're really glad to have you back home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And he's just got a face full of bread.
He's- Llewellyn's just like rubbing all his joints because he's been in stasis for like how many days? How long did?
Over a 10-day, that's for sure. Probably like
I think they got here in the nick of time of a Finn.
Yeah,
Fender?
we I
Fine.
think
Gentle
we
repose?
only had like a day left or something, didn't we?
Gentle repose, I think it was.
that's right, gentle repose. That was why Chadnir set a date of 10 days before he cast Gate to summon you back.
Otherwise, they failed anyway.
That's exactly right.
Hmm.
They Snug is here and he says, "Welcome back, Master. I've got your brand new set of clothes. Didn't want to change you, because not strip you naked, but here you go." He's got like a folded up like robe for you to wear.
It's a clown costume.
No.
Just swapped it out for a clown costume.
It's all been
It's-
woven together with web. It's a little bit sticky.
It's all good. I prestidigitated it. This is why you're the best, Snug.
Would you like a meal? You've been dead for quite a while. I can imagine you're very hungry.
Instant stomach rumble.
Okay,
And you
I
like
will
their
alert.
Yep.
I will let
Um,
the chef Snugs, and he goes off.
I
And
would
a banquet is prepared for you.
I would say that I would need to rest after dying, but I think I've rested enough. What have I missed?
Quite a lot.
Is Chad just acquiring bards?
Oh, no, Elias is Chad's apprentice. He's kind of connected to Andy. They're sort of muses. It's a whole thing.
Oh.
Oh yes, I was just recounting the tales. Here, if you want to catch up, you can read my novella. And he hands you this large tome, The Adventures of Chadney. Oh, and Kiasters.
If that
Oh.
is your novella, I don't want to know what your novel is.
Yeah, novellas are supposed to be slim volumes. Short stories.
I don't read much, and I know that.
Well, it was sort of just a recap of everything. But yes, it was a
Ah.
shortened down version. I tried to keep it succinct, but I just had to embellish it.
And
I don't think you understand what the word short means. I am short. Use that as a gauge.
okay, I'll give it a read later. Well,
Very right.
glad to be back.
Yes, welcome back, Llyvelin.
And you too, I guess.
Rovar
So,
whispers into your mind.
and
You've been sleeping for a long time. We have much work to do. We need to catch up on lost time.
yeah, we need to catch up. Andy, did you? You're not. Are you free now of the? Last I remembered was, big genie guy wanted to capture you, and well, meteors flying from the sky.
That's
I think
right.
we're good. For now. At least.
Good.
Unless, somehow he manages to come back. I don't know. We killed him, right?
He killed the Afriti. The Sultan was left alive, but it seems like
Oh,
he was caught
yes.
in the pact. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me as well, Evan, for context. Yeah. It seems as part of the deal in using the Afriti's great power to win the war, they wanted a muse in payment for some whatever means you didn't really get to the bottom of, but couldn't have been good one. In any case, Andy was one such candidate for fulfilling the bargain.
I can only hope the stupid Sultan has learned his lesson. I think we managed to have a good talk with him. Hopefully that was enough of a slap around the head for him to realize, maybe put his people first. I mean, I would have just put someone else's Sultan, but
That's not really our decision to make.
no.
Hmm.
No.
Well, and he flicks through the pages quick, and is he's like crystal cave, earth plane, diamonds, and he just goes, ah, damn it, I missed the journey. I was really hoping to go though.
What, the Earth plane?
Trust
Well-
me, you didn't miss much.
You wouldn't have liked it. You'd have gone on one whole like tirade about all the slavery and all that stuff. I can see
Oh,
it
that-
now.
Well, it was specifically the Crystal Cave.
Oh, by the way, we met a friend of yours.
Yes, indeed.
Friend?
Yeah, something about a race.
Oh. Questionable.
That was
Questionable
read,
guy.
read the end of the notes. You're gonna want to read that.
Yeah, you can skip the rest of it.
Yeah. Oh, get Karius to explain the other thing to you. Bit of a sore subject at the moment.
Well, this.
Indeed.
That-
Yeah.
That does.
The devil you'd made a pact
Yeah.
with a long time ago. Seemingly, it was also after diamonds and crossed paths with the pie. They didn't get along. They ended up butting heads, and you can read that they actually sort of slew the devil. Of course, you know better. Devils don't necessarily die. They simply get banished back to their infernal hell where they're reborn. Still, it's curious what he wants all the diamonds for, and you're suddenly sorely reminded in the back of your head that you still have a deal to fulfill. You must slay the devil slayer. The demon slayer, rather. Correct?
Devil Slayer.
Devil slayer. It is the devil slayer, yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's correct. So
Yeah, okay.
I have some good news and some bad news that I may have been keeping from you guys. I didn't think he was
the
good.
first time.
I didn't think he was going to come up, but seemed to have tangled with my friend. He says with quotation marks. I may have jumped the gun when I was younger to learn Infernal.
It's alright, we all make bargains we don't really realise when we're younger. I just look at Candlewick.
Okay, you feel the heat of Candlewick flare up.
It's
The
alright, we're
heat-
friends, that's different. I'm just saying it's an example that I understand.
So,
Hmm,
upon meeting Vishtal,
this Vishtar Kanuk. Yes, this guy.
he was willing to teach me. We got to know each other. He told me a little bit about the Blood War, where the devils and the demons are trying to control some bridge between the two so they can try and take over the other's realm. And that a certain person was making it very difficult and thinning the devil's ranks. And explained to me that if the demons win, they're not just going to stop at the devil's realm of the Nine Hells. So I agreed to help him with a little signature on a piece of paper to capture a certain person's soul to stop him from continuing to do so.
Yeah.
However-
from upsetting the balance.
However, I am also in the fine print of if I don't do this, then good old Llyvelin may become a devil himself one day.
Okay, so a little bit more complicated than we first thought.
Yes. So
Uh,
we'll be doing a little bit of bad for the greater good.
which is always the way with you, so nothing new there, which means you're back,
Yep.
so... Alright.
Couldn't be more fitting.
What also makes it a little bit more complicated is that I think I know exactly who it is,
Okay.
and they travel with an old friend of mine as their lover, and I would very much hope to not upset them, but I can't see how I would do this without upsetting them.
Well, it's make that choice or potentially become a devil.
Now, my only thing of thinking is I complete the contract and then find myself going to the Nine Hells to try and free him afterwards. Maybe.
That's a tall order. Do you think you can manage that?
One day? I mean, my whole journey has been to
I'm not being funny,
Become
Llyvelin,
more
but you just
powerful.
got killed. You really
Yeah.
think you should be going down to the Nine Hells? I just give him a prod. You're still squishy, my friend.
I would very much like the robes back. That is one thing. Yeah, I wish I had those. And secondly, if I was more prepared, like I will be for going to the Nine Hells one day, I would have wore this ring that I have. And he pulls out the ring of
What
fire.
ring?
Fire resistance.
You had that the entire bloody time?
I didn't. I
Are
didn't.
you stupid?
I didn't exactly have
I actually
time.
grab him by the shoulders and
Mm.
start shaking him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, he is.
I didn't know we were going against a genie who was going to throw meteors down at us. I didn't exactly have an hour to attune to it during the battle.
Just as someone who explodes into fire that you're near, like, always in a short circumference with, it might be bloody smart to use it. No?
I've not used. Oh yeah, you set on fire all the time. I thought you meant me and my fireballs, but I've not used that
There's
spell in a
that
long
too.
time. I'm more of a lightning bolt sort of guy recently. Oh,
Llyvelin, your dad would literally kill me if anything happened to you. You realize that, right?
and I appreciate that, and I give Eirina a hug.
Oh, get off.
It just feels good to be back. I appreciate all that you've all done. You two, Andy, and weird
Did you?
ginger bard who brought me back to life.
His name
Did
is
you go to
Elias.
say? Did you just go to say thank you and then correct yourself to saying I appreciate? That's some old. That is some old Feywild habits still kicking around.
Yeah.
I love that. That's totally in character.
Anyway, so I can look for this guy. I've been keeping tabs. Well, I was more than 10 days ago. But also, I would really, really like my robes back. And at some point, we would, if I remember correctly, I have been floating in the void for a fair few days. Are we still after going to the city?
I need to go to the city, but first I need to try and figure out when Malone is hiding.
Oh, yeah.
I need some sort of idea of what's going on before we even think about going in there. It's dangerous, otherwise we may not... It was bad enough I couldn't get out the first time. I had to have help. If we get stuck in there again, I don't think we're coming back out. We're not prepared yet.
And-
we need to be.
And Malone knew that as well, and they wrote in their entries and diaries that the only person they knew who could even remotely help with something of this nature would be her former master and teacher,
Mm-hmm.
Tereg.
Elias stood there awkwardly, just giving an odd wave now and then when he's mentioned. Just goes, well, I've got a few things to do. I'm going to be learning with Chad for a while. But I'll be heading to the city at some point. But I've got a few more things to do before. So, here, and he chucks a thing to Llyvelin. Maybe this will stop making you look like the weird uncle taking their nephews and nieces on an adventure. Chad, we go in?
Chadney says, "Wait, why would you go to this Shattered City Alliance?"
Well, the whole point of me learning to bring someone back is so I could go get my fiance. As fun as this has been, Chad.
You had a lover this whole time?
They're dead.
You never. Oh.
But they won't be. One day.
Ooh, awkward. And why? So what? That doesn't answer why you want to go to the Shattered City, though.
Because that's where they're buried.
Oh, that's their remains. Oh,
Exactly.
that's tricky. Ugh.
But
Yeah,
I've got...
No one comes back from the Shattered City.
We'll
The
see.
place is like locked down.
We'll see. Also, I've got
All right.
a sister to find as well. I believe that gate spell of yours is quite useful for pinpointing people down
Yeah,
as he wanders
that
off.
could work. I'm gonna need a long rest though.
No worries.
After all
But
that, I mean, I need to put all these diamonds in cases.
Bye,
and
bye
safes.
guys. As they walk off chatting, just, bye.
see ya.
Yeah.
Let us
Oh,
know
we'll
when
be
you head to
outside.
the city.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Have fun. Don't get killed. Again.
You too.
And just the voices get quieter and quieter.
Yeah.
They
All right.
wander off.
They head out.
And
And I think your magnificent mention is pretty much adjacent to the casino anyway, isn't it?
I think it's currently on the casino.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Chadney,
Well, no,
not
it's on
even
the
like he's
it's on the
leaving.
airship if I remember rightly, but we're parked by the casino, right?
Right. Yeah. Cool. All right then. So you're not far from them if you do want to catch up or talk to them. But all right. Kesh'an says that he will be in his room meditating on the knowledge he acquired from the celestial angel creature he saw. And that massive, gigantic treasure that he's laid eyes on. That it seemed like Vishtar also had his eyes set on. It seems like they were after the one and the same thing, but good job Kesh'an was there to get to it first. Anyway, I'll put Kesh'an in his room. Somewhere over there. Karius, that's not his room. that's like his gallery. Yeah, and same with this, right? This is
Yep.
like a portrait. Llyvelin, what's this room with Karius on it?
Oh, this is the this is basically the room of memories.
That's
Each
right.
each room is just filled with portraits of all different memories, from happy to sad to just anything that Llyvelin felt was important about who he knew of these people and what
Right.
mattered to him, even if it's memories they wouldn't necessarily want to remember if it was important. It's here.
Yeah.
Each memory playing out through the portraits.
That's
Like Karius went there to reflect on the memories.
Okay. There may be like images of your family then as well.
Yeah. I would imagine. I don't know. I can't remember what Llyvelin put in this one. For me. But yeah.
It would be some sort of. Well, I guess since they did get to meet all of them, and Llyvelin even sort of like got made friends with one or two of them, I think there'd be definitely images of them here.
Yeah.
There would be, yes. I'm trying to find the page.
And so,
Uh,
what is Karius going through since finally getting a breather, not being
Hmm.
no longer being petrified and dealing with the consequences of what they unleashed?
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the thing. Like, Karius went down there to save someone. Um, they risked their lives, the party in general. They met many people and got help from many others who may, because of Karius's actions, now all be dead.
Hmm.
And not only that, he potentially has just destabilized or destroyed one of the elemental planes, which is a building block of existence, and said and potentially caused some planar convergence where parts of other planes were flooding into that plane, causing interactions that probably shouldn't happen or shouldn't happen quite as much. And then
Indeed.
doesn't know where the Nova Blast Worm is going to end up, or what it's capable of, or what it's going to do. So it's kind of sort of going, like, probably looks to Taklo. I was meant to be the hero, the one who protects people. And yet, once again, I've fucked up. And now everyone's dead, possibly, or worse. I mean, I don't know what that thing
Yes.
does to people when it kills them.
You see flashing images in your mind, playing out the last scenes of what you saw before you escaped the Earth plane. This gigantic worm of kaiju proportions boring its way up through the layers. You saw the magma bleeding through from the fire plane like a waterfall of lava. There was on the other side a stream of water turning to steam as it kind of coalesced with the fire plane. The water plane was also flooding in as well. And just this massive tunnel all the way through the Earth plane's center, like it's been shot through the center. And now it's like in its organs are now just like bleeding out. But yeah, there's no telling where it's gone, what it's doing, but you can already imagine that there is a great deal of panic and pandemonium, and you're thinking about the people that you tried to save necessarily there. There's you can already imagine the screams of people on the Earth plane as they're trying to evacuate, as the whole place is crumbling in. That said, that Earth plane was not necessarily a nice place. It was
Yeah.
mostly a mine where Dao were forcing slaves to mine away for their ever growing greed, like just getting all the gemstones from it.
Yeah.
So in a way, Taklo probably mentions that, like, maybe we did some good. We put an end to all the slavery in the Earth plane.
Yeah, there is that, but I would imagine that considering how they were acting before when I tried to do it and succeeded, I imagine that most of the group aren't going to be very happy with me either. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if if that was my last adventure with them. But and I don't want to put that on Llyvelin. Like, at the end of the day, I did it because we were short on time and we needed to get through that as quickly as possible. But in order to make sure we could get him back, but that doesn't make what I did right. Or it might have been the quickest course of action to get what we needed done, but I suppose that's like me in general, acting without thinking. That's why I got sent away in the first place.
Maybe they'll forgive you, and also you're a lot stronger now. Maybe you could just beat up that big worm. It's not so
Yeah,
tough.
I
In your
mean,
mind's eye, you see a pair of googly eyes appear on.
yeah.
Creepy snag.
Karius sort of looks at them and it's just like, yeah, that's... You could be right there if I did make this mistake. But that doesn't mean I can't fix it. I don't know if I'm quite strong enough yet, but if anyone can stop that thing, it should probably be me.
That's the confidence I know.
Yeah. But in order to beat that thing, I'm gonna have to read books, probably, to understand it. Whilst I like a good book, I cannot imagine books on giant creatures from ancient past is going to be that exciting a read. It's probably going to be all weirdly worded, you know? But...
Well, you made great progress in Tarek's Tower last time you were there. You learned how to overcome lightning immunity. Like, striking down a blue dragon with a lightning bolt is unheard of. Think of all the other things
yes,
you could learn.
and I have a feeling that for that's just the start of things, like, of what I'm capable of. I feel like there's a storm inside that I'm unleashing just a part of, maybe a substantial part, but not the full storm. There's something greater there, but maybe I need to train with my dad, who was trained by me again, and that still confuses me and hurts my head a lot. But I think that might be our best port of call. It's just whether the group will be willing to take me along with them for that journey, or if I'll have to make my own way. And unfortunately, they've got the device to get there. I don't, so it's going to be a much harder journey alone.
Above table, it's actually the only place where there was information on the primordial creatures was in Baba Yaga's dancing hut. In fact, it was seeded all the way back in like episode 3, where you found that library. And unfortunately, that hut is no more. At least it seems.
Well, if you remember from my time in the hut, Datan has the book on primordials.
Oh, in your timeline, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, hey, maybe you go back and visit Datan. But I think, yeah, does Karius know that necessarily? Like, it would have been a long time talking, and I will say this: you would have had it on your person the entire. You would have had it on your person the entire time you're in the Feywild. And
Yeah,
then...
I'm just saying, not all the knowledge is in Baba Yaga's hut, because Datan does have a book, but Karius doesn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean...
alright.
Llyvelin might know.
Because because the person Karius was guarding had some link to Datan's mother, if I remember correctly. But I don't remember exactly what that was.
Yeah, it was Castellius's, air quotes, butler, or whoever he was, was making a trade deal with Datan's mother.
Yes.
That's right.
A trade deal.
And they were also kind of courting.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Karius would have spent some time there, but wouldn't have spent a lot of time talking to Datan, Probably the closest thing Karius has on information to the primordials is probably the brief talk with the
Right.
really ancient lightning dragon.
Yes, that's true.
Um,
Also, the party previously ventured with a what race were they? I can't even remember now. They have water genasi? Tidal wave. Were they?
Yep.
They're water genasi, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was right. Yeah. So
We know
tidal
that she's
wave
fighting
was.
some primordial.
She was a guardian of the deep, and she was fighting off, keeping the creature in Calandroth imprisoned as well. But you never got to meet them. But
yeah, and the
Maybe.
party
that's
probably
another.
wouldn't have mentioned that. But yeah,
No, but yeah, that's a whole faction that are basically dedicated to keeping these things in check.
Karius's
But
new
you're right,
goal:
though.
slay all the primordials.
The next best place you would know of getting that information would be Terry's Tower as well. So
And
anyway.
maybe if worse comes to worse, maybe there's a way Tarek can just turn back time on that area so that the beast was never released, but we're not affected because weird timeline shenanigans.
Oh, yeah, I never realized. I don't get how that works. Taklo says.
Nope,
Always had in
neither
my
do I.
brain.
Yeah. I'll just stick to lightning and thunder and occasionally some water.
Oh. So, I wonder if this banquet's going to have strawberries.
Almost certainly. I mean, you're here. They'll at least give you strawberries. Like, that's your thing. Strawberries and whiskey.
Wait, what? Did you feed Taklo whiskey at some point?
I'm almost certain that one of the pictures is him wrapped around a bottle of whiskey.
Amazing. All right then.
But yeah.
Snug will probably do the rounds and let everyone know at some point that food will be ready. But before we get to that, I'll see Eirina, Llyvelin, do you want to head off? You've got 4 levels of exhaustion, by the way, something like that. I think actually it's 2 levels, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 2 levels to give minus
2 levels,
4, yeah.
Yeah, it is. So you've got getting up is a chore. You haven't used your body and muscles in a while, and Sneg's right. You're absolutely starving. But you're gonna go take a lie down or change, I assume.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't mind these clothes actually. Snug's done a good job. Yeah, I just need to.
That's what I mean. Change into those.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Are you two staying here, or do I need to go get myself?
No, we're good. We're gonna go. Just eat something and get some rest. You look like shit. No offense for someone who's been resurrected.
Yeah, I don't know. Considering how much damage I took, I look pretty alright. Although it's very weird that all my markings aren't here. That's something to get used to.
Markings.
Yeah, it's a fresh body.
In all like the ripped parts of his robe, you see his skin is just clean. It's just if you've seen him before, like when you've seen his robes rolled up at the arms, he would have had tribal markings. You've probably seen around his neck, just below his chin, would have been tribal markings that have like been scarred on and then inked over.
Mm-hmm.
No longer there.
Well, we can find someone to put him back if you want, but
No.
You're
More.
not free from your past, Llyvelin.
My head was
The
much
Seems
quiet.
like then.
Go on. Buck. Carry.
You no longer have the scars of your trauma.
Yeah, but the trauma's still there. He's just talking to himself now, and you guys are just like, probably.
Yeah, get some
Yep.
rest.
Yep. Thanks for bringing me back again. And I shut the door, and he just slumps back to the floor as he's looking at all these. Well, there's like statues in this room, which is of his family members, and he's just looking past at the memories and just contemplating the fact that apart from one in this room, the rest have all died, including himself. I almost joined you guys. Sorry I didn't get to visit, but bigger things to come, I guess. Huh. Good to have friends, I guess. And he just starts reading. Well, he gets himself ready and then starts to catch up on what he's missed in the novella.
Oh, I'll give you the shorthand. Here. I'll psychically transmit it to you. I've already read it all.
Oh,
Am I your friend, Llyvelin?
I guess. But, like, I still don't know what your aim is. I mean, I
It is
give.
your aim that I wish to fulfill. I serve you.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like you're trying to get me to serve you.
I merely see great potential wasted and squandered. I simply wish for you to reach your highest potential. To do that, I need to push you. To do that, I need to tell you to not dally. No time to reflect. It's time to work. You have a new body. A clean slate, so to speak.
But death puts things into perspective. And I'm very good at perceiving things.
Most who have come close to death then choose to do something with their lives, realizing that at any time it could all be over. They're spurred into action.
Oh.
That is what I believe you should do, Llyvelin.
When have I ever not?
Indeed. But you are often distracted, perhaps.
Well,
And if
you-
ever I come across as making you try to do something you don't want to, it is merely trying to keep you on track.
I get it. But if you want help down the line, you've got to help others. There's always a give and take. You should know this. I don't get anything from you unless I give to you.
Well said. Well, when you're ready to get back to it, I'll be waiting.
Sounds good. And he takes one last moment to look at his skin before putting on his new robes and just bringing them down over his like his wrist. Well, the hunger awaits.
Indeed. You hear a dinner bell in the distance.
Yeah, I can't seem to go any
And,
further than this. Like, there's a wall in the way.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I got stuck too.
Okay.
Oh, you're all stuck
Sorry,
here.
we gotta install some doors. Here you go.
Sure, it's not
Is there
stairs
like
you
a
need to.
workman snug with like a hard
There
hat
is.
and a tall belt?
There-
That's exactly right.
is. I've described that in the past, and there is, but there is doors, and they're here. But
I
I think,
tried that and it still wouldn't let me do it.
but I think Tuxedo Snug would come over and help you out, and he just pulls out like a master key,
Oh,
which
so,
is like
Mm.
attached to him by webs.
so these stairs over here go to here. And this is the same set of stairs. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. That's correct.
Oh, okay. Because obviously we don't see the path here, so that's
It's alright. You can simply.
yeah.
There is no walls in the way. You can just drag and drop into that room. But yeah,
Yeah.
the dinner is served in the war room. We'll say there's a whole row of butler snugs waiting to plate you up.
Yeah,
I think Eirina and Andy are there first before anyone else.
Yeah, the war room
Except
is
Skelly
the
Chat, apparently.
is the dinner room.
Hmm.
The table actually flips over to the map.
Oh wow, a revolving table.
Yeah, and then this is where the kitchen is, and then obviously the pool, sauna, and then this is like where people can practice what they're doing, like archers and spellcasters and
Hmm.
training dummies and whatnot.
Perfect.
Is that
All
Opal?
right, yeah. Yeah, Opal is here in the Clawed Coast. She's probably not here in this room, but you know, nor is Skelly Chad. I think Skelly Chad was just there after
With the
getting caught in the whole chaos.
Yeah, with the diminishing of the snurgs as time went on, now that Llyvelin's back, you'll see them start to multiply one by one. As they, like, is it osmosis? Mitosis?
Something like that.
As they just sort of like split into two and then go off to do their respective jobs, some of them wearing different costumes.
They split into two and just summon a hat out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, like a chef's hat, and then start walking to the kitchen and sous chef's hats and
An assortment of breads are brought out in little baskets for Andy.
Oh yeah, she's delving into those. Okay. Already got a roll in her mouth, and she's taking some more into her arms.
What would Eirina order?
I don't know. She'd probably just eat whatever's available, to be fair.
Did you try making the curry buns?
Oh yes, we can add some spice to your meal if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay.
there will,
Claps his
there,
hand.
to one side there will actually be like a dinner menu, and at the top it just says like Llyvelin you're cooking. It's come straight from his cookbook he's been writing along the way.
That's all the
concerning,
recipes you've
considering what
acquired.
recipes he has in there.
That's true, yeah.
At the top it says the forbidden but Llyvelin's favourite, and it just says owl stew.
Owl? You ate owl at one point?
Yeah, well, he had to survive on his own. He ate what he could to survive, and he found that owl was really nice,
Oh my god. Okay.
despite it being seen as frowned upon.
Of course, this is all magically conjured food. It's not
Yes.
actually real. Well, it's real and it sustains you, but it's not like the sources aren't real. They're just sort of made to flavor that way.
See what else?
Yeah.
Find. The tasty stuff.
Okay.
There's deer, owl, brown bear, fish, Feywild gopher, tidal waves, good berries, Feywild honey, hot or cold, angel cooked fish, weep chicken,
No, you ate the chickens. No.
a chicken.
Llyvelin's
when-
Llyvelin's the villain of the next chicken campaign.
Yeah, but it wasn't the Tan's chickens. It was like at one
Oh,
at
thank
restaurants.
Oh,
A
distant
cooked
cousins.
ragipede, which I believe was from the Temple of Sun and Moon. Flesh
Mhm.
pod hornet honey
Mm.
and caramelized flesh pod honey. And then there's a load of like disgusting options, but it just says eat at your own will. And one of them
Yeah,
actually states the Tan's cooking and Kesh'an's cooking.
Yeah, Datan is a terrible cook. We all know that.
Irina's
He has
eyes.
many
fire
talents,
down.
but cooking is not one of them.
Oh, pertains to you. It says Eirina's toast.
That's
Yeah.
right at the bottom of the menu.
Yeah.
And you see the
Yeah.
butler waiting with a little notepad.
I just pick up some of the bread and immediately start to toast it in my hands.
That makes
Oh, we can do that for you. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's on the
you
menu.
know-
I think it's more authentic if I do it myself.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll just get you some beverages. Fine wine, perhaps.
Sure, why not?
All right. They return with some wine for you. What's Karius having off that delightful menu?
Well, Tapclo themselves has probably just ordered so many strawberries. It's like bigger than so piled up so high, like Karius, if they're sitting, actually has to look behind them because it's such a big mountain. But Karius has probably just ordered something like simple, like like stew or something, and probably some rum.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Seems everyone needs a stiff drink after that adventure, but
Yeah, including Tapclo, who has a small like bowl of whiskey, which they're just swimming in whilst eating their strawberries.
Snug says, Kesh'an says, I think he's fasting. But I'll offer him a bowl of rice later on.
Maybe some milk.
I think he preferred
that-
the fish.
That's racist. He's trying to mimic Kesh'an.
You had to get that in at least one time in the episode.
Yeah. So I flicked through the book. Well, I had my bit of time in there. It says something about releasing an Earth primordial.
Yeah, so that's entirely on me. There was a labyrinth with invisible walls, and we were told the quickest way to solve it was to break this crystal. So I broke the crystal and unleashed a primordial that may or may not have destroyed most of the Earth plane and its denizens. And yeah, I really messed up.
The mention of primordials, you're going to have a mental image in your head, Llyvelin, of some of the pages from that book. And yeah, I've still got it. The Bearer
Oh.
of the Heavens was one such primordial that you met in the Feywild, that you had to wake up.
Yeah.
The Nova Blast Worm is just below there. The one who apparently created the sun and it escaped its coils and went into the night sky.
Wasn't there Raucus? The tangled branches or something like that?
The infinite
No,
branches.
that's an Archfey.
Oh.
Yeah, that's an Archfey, not a
I really
primordial.
like the design of this one. like the one in the bottom left.
On the left, we'll get to Gaia in a minute, but yeah, Nova Blast Worm supposedly was ever furious and angry that the sun had like basically escaped its coils, and they wanted to try and chase it across the sky and basically wrap it up in its coils so that it blocked out all light. Or so the legend goes. On the right is the one creature that you don't know much about, but Tidal Wave said that it's like this multi-headed elemental hydra, and one such head is in Calandroth, that volcanic island far to the west of Weep. The others you don't know anything about. You only kind of remember maybe a brief image of like this giant four-armed ooze-like plasmoid creature, and the other one was like this almost wrath of nature type creature. Maybe its name is like Gaia or something, but
Wow. I missed out on seeing a second primordial. Damn it.
Yeah,
You guys had a
well,
lot of fun without me.
I almost died once, possibly twice.
Llyvelin, believe me when I say it was not fun.
Oh.
I don't think there was a single moment that was fun.
I mean,
there
I'd
was
say,
a talent show?
yeah, I was gonna say the talent show was fun.
I suppose.
It even
Flames
says-
got
One single moment, then. One single moment.
I think it says in here you had a hell of a lot of fun at the talent show.
Chad exaggerates.
Yeah. I mean, we also got to walk on the ceilings. That was kind of interesting because gravity was weird.
And the weirdest thing that happened was when Eirina seemed to take on the identity of Llyvelin in one of the maddening mazes that twisted your mind.
Ah, yeah, that was odd.
How's Eirina still reeling from that? Do
Yeah,
they remember part of it?
Yeah, she probably remembers, like, obviously the memories as it happened. It's just kind of trippy because she was, like, living them in a different mindset. So now that she's back to
Yeah.
being herself, she still remembers it all. But it's almost as if someone else had control of her body. So it's a
Right.
weird
Yeah.
out-of-body experience for her.
yeah, I didn't know you
But now-
admired me so much. I'm used to being
Shut
a
up.
Now,
disappointment. And Andy found you found your dad. He's welcome to the table, you know.
Oh shit, where's Raheem?
I really don't
think-
know where he went off to.
He likes to wander off and get into trouble. He's like a little damsel in distress, that one.
I mean,
So if we
that kind of matches the party's vibe. I'm not gonna lie.
if we
I'm
found
here.
Oh.
Sorry for being late to dinner. Just freshening up. You know, I hadn't had a shower in a long time in the Earth plane, so
You took
well-
a 4-hour shower.
precisely. Manicure, got a makeover, cleaned up all my jewelry. It's good to be back home.
speaking of shower, I think this
the
belongs
sofa.
to you.
You know that I don't think
I-
I ever have seen you showered
And
What?
I-
or
What
had
do you
a
mean?
haircut. We lived on the streets.
He still has the towel!
he still has the
The
towel. he chucks it. He chucks it to
Sorry.
Raheem.
Why
The
did you
dirty towel.
keep
The
this?
dirty towel.
Andy,
Can't
Oh,
understand
we
why
still
you-
have
why you
that.
keep this.
Andy was looking for you. It's the only object I had to help scry on you.
Well, it's probably the last time I had a shower. Though, you can keep the towel.
I'm okay, thanks.
I don't think you should have that at the dinner table. Maybe put it away somewhere.
It's been
Or if you
cleaned.
have snare,
Don't
get
worry.
rid of it.
Yeah, one of the
Snurf,
butler
can
snakes.
you burn that thing, please?
I shall clean it up and put it on your towel rail. Wait, wait, I have a towel rail? Or do you mean
I
Llyvelin's?
didn't mean to do now.
Snag doesn't reply. He just walks off. Ah, strange creatures, these little spiderlings. Friends of yours, I take it?
Illusions. But used to be a friend of mine.
Hmm.
They make food.
Well, I can see, and that's quite an abundance. I've never seen so much food in my life. He doesn't know where to dig in. We never had much food on the streets, but seems, Andy, you've grown quite an appetite. Noting the empty baskets of bread.
We need some more of those. Snug?
I kind of have to eat a lot to make up for all the energy I have expended recently.
Hmm.
It's been
I
a
think you're
tough
going to-
couple of weeks.
If you think you're going to make up for the height, though, I think that's already too late.
Some things only a short person can do.
I mean, I'm what? 19 now? I don't think I'm gonna grow anymore.
Was Andy's mother quite short? Where does Andy inherit this height?
I guess probably from her mum.
Yeah.
I always imagine
Okay.
Raheem to be quite tall in comparison, so I imagine her mum was kind of quite small and nymphy sort of thing.
Yeah. So he probably remarked on that, saying, well, you might just get to the height of your mother, but probably no higher.
Judging from the wanted posters, you look like your mum quite a lot.
That kind of makes me happy. At least I got most of my face from mum and not from dad.
Though, when we added the mustache to that wanted poster, it also kind of looked like you.
That's true.
So you do take after your dad too.
You have my talents. With the violin, of course. And my charm and wit.
I
You have a
don't know,
lot
I
of
think
good
Smoke
traits.
could help with some of that.
Wait, Raheem's meant to be charming?
And he's just
What
like
is there
falling
not
off the chair
charming about
laughing.
I tricked you guys, didn't I? With that magnificent costume. The Zone one?
I mean, if we consider charming the use of props, then I guess anyone can be charming.
I mean, he
I-
did manage to charm crowds of like 40, 50 people.
Precisely, I was in a talent contest. What's not charming about that?
And we beat you.
Got him. Yeah.
Just saying.
Was very clumsy in that suit. Zones have 3 arms. I do not. 3 legs too.
Did you have
So-
to kind of stop it?
Yes. I kept tripping. But you did like the juggling act.
Yeah, that was cool.
Hmm.
Or should I say that was
Yes.
spicy?
But I must applaud you. That your act was magnificent. Definitely a step above the rest. It's a shame we didn't get to hand out prizes.
The prize probably wouldn't have been bread.
Well, seems you all got gifts along the way anyway, according to the book.
Yeah, I suppose.
And I wonder what this does. And he puts this vial onto the table, which is what Elias threw at him. And he's like, you know how I do. Give me a moment. You guys can keep chatting. And he starts
We
to
could use that, Llyvelin.
ritually identify what the actual portion is, even though it says youth portion on the side.
But
Doesn't know how true it is.
in
Grimoire.
continue.
Grimoire very rapidly identifies it for you. In fact, he's probably already done it for you in this time. This is why he's already seemingly got some information ahead of time.
This is a potion to extend one's life. Perhaps restore some of those years, make up for some time. This, however, rather than simply downing it, might be a useful ingredient in a greater concoction.
Okay, you know the list. What am I ticking off?
Yes, well, this certainly acts as a replacement for a few blood ingredients, shall we say. Where did he get this, I wonder?
Yeah, maybe we'll
Flashback
get.
to Kerstie.
Yeah,
Mm.
maybe we'll get to ask him
But-
when we meet him again in the city, if he makes it though.
Mm. Where is your list of ingredients? Is it on your sheet?
It is. I'll put it.
Is it?
I'll put it into the roll story management, and then these can all continue role
Wow,
playing.
this is going to be the longest biography I've ever scrolled down.
I know. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
I kept
Llewellyn's
notes.
character sheet is insane. Oh, here we go. So pure arsenic, pinch of belladonna, Betty blood ? Brinda's blood ? Those are interesting. Blood of an angel. Vampire blood. Hey, there it is. You can cross out vampire blood. Ingredient I. That's one that'll be off the list.
There you go.
Seems fitting. But yeah, we'll get more in depth on that later on. For now, though, this potion seems to act as a substitute for several of the ingredients, as it's already got the makeup and properties of what you're trying to achieve, an elixir of endless life. Okay. After you've kind of cleaned your plates, had a drink, I'm sure you guys all want a long rest after the Earth plane, which I know you guys, some of you have already done and gone ahead and done, but for the most part, you're probably still like exhausted from that. But
So hit the long
you can
rest
feel free to,
button.
yeah, you can retire for the night if you want. We'll skip over
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah.
Um,
Karius has gone and slept in the crow's nest of the ship.
Yes, let's take it to the ship. Why not?
you know, going in your own room.
We spend too much time confined. I need to be under the sky.
Okay. Well, as everyone's like departing to wherever they're going, Llyvelin just says one last thing of this whole Earth primordial business. Is this something we're gonna have to tick off one day? I feel like I'm partly responsible
It's
because you all
something.
had to go down there.
It's something I'm going to tick off one day, even if it kills me. I'm gonna fix my mistake.
Everyone makes mistakes, but good to know. And he starts to write it in his book to add to things that need doing, and
A
then
growing list of chores.
sees you out the mansion.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, morning comes and it's a nice controlled temperature within the magnificent mansion.
Who is
Outside
this
on the deck of the ship, that is Euterpe in her formal wear, but she's probably not right here. He's probably with the Sultan. But yeah, Karius, you're feeling like your skin is being baked in the crow's nest. You forget just how hot the Clawed Coast's sun was
Mm.
comparatively to the Earth plane, where you're like underground in the cool,
Yeah.
cold Earth.
But luckily, I'm
but-
resistant to fire.
Ah, right. Another one who's resistant.
Yep.
See? But you get woken up to this horrible sound of kind of coughing and hacking, and it's like, and you realize it's a Grimishka on the deck of the ship coughing up a furball,
Doesn't
Mm.
it, guy?
and they kind of
Oh.
scamper around. You can hear their claws across the deck.
Mm. Oh,
I had forgotten about these guys.
Forgot-
Yep, there's
I
like an
forgot-
infestation of them.
I forgot we freed them in the capital city on the Cloud Coast.
The correction, you freed them.
it's
Didn't we need a
well,
distraction at some point for some reason
Yeah.
to actually get into the Emperor's Emperor? Was it Emperor? To get to the big boss,
The Sultan.
The Sultan.
the Sultan. That was it. Yeah, we needed a distraction for all the guards, so we released the Grimishkas. Good times.
Yeah, you've kind of come to an agreement with them. They don't cause any trouble, and they can use your airship as little home. And so, like, instead of rats on aboard a ship, you have cats. Very skinless, like very hairless,
Dangerous,
scary-looking cats.
multiplying
And they-
cats.
Yeah. Yeah. They are a swarm. And yeah, you hear that as you wake up, Karius.
not the most pleasant of alarm clocks, but I suppose there's no rest for the wicked.
Hear them scratching themselves. Oh yeah, you guys can exit out of the magnificent mansion, out into the heat and clear sky. What would you like to do, guys?
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Karius will glaive his way down and probably speak to the group and just be like, I can understand if, based on my actions, you guys don't want to travel with me anymore. But either way, I think we're probably all heading in the same direction. It's just, do we go there straight away, or is there anything more to do here?
I take off a shoe and I throw it at him.
I take off my hook and I throw it at him.
First roll of the coming back, Karius, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Ah, yes.
Can I throw
To
my hook
avoid
back
it.
as well?
He's being hit by the pump kicks as well, so
That's
You're gonna
what.
have
put a
to- you're gonna have
smile
to roll-
back on their face.
You'll have to roll 3 because it looks like there's multiple projectiles. As
Okay.
you dodge out of the way of the shoe,
The
you get hit
hook.
by the hook now. And
Yep.
then one more for the headband.
Oh,
And the
no.
headband smacks you as well.
Wait.
Don't don't be silly. You're coming with us.
Karius just sort of looks at the headband and just been like, isn't this meant to make you smart? It doesn't seem a smart idea to throw it away.
It felt like a smart idea to throw it at you
Like,
rather
I
than
mean-
a knife.
I mean, he threw a hook. Yeah, whatever. And Karius will just hand it back.
Thank you.
Well, and
I like to think it hit you on your horn, which you don't normally you don't
yeah,
normally have, right? But it's regrown since
Yeah.
being
It's like a
regenerated.
horseshoe and it
and-
starts
Yeah.
circling.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought too.
and then Karius will pull out the hook. Ow, hand that back, and then just sort of look over the side of the ship for the shoe and just be like, "Be right back." Just backflip off the ship to go get the shoe.
That's it. I glide down, pick it back off.
Yeah. I'm literally imagining it's like one of those skydiving moments where they do like the whole arms to the side, and then at the last moment he pulls up with the glaive and just goes, "Okay, there's your shoe. I know, I'm pretty sure you like these shoes, so there you go. All right.
Take the water out of it and then put it back on.
Yeah. So we need information more than anything at this point. And I think the only place we're going to get said information is going to be that tower. But that moves.
Yes.
So
Yeah, you know how we got there last time. I still have the compass.
yeah. So where and when?
I pull out the compass.
The thaumatic compass, yes. You see, it's on your sheet.
Yeah.
Mm,
Also,
Also,
is
I-
Kesh'an out of his meditation? Because don't we need him to fly the ship?
yes, he will be.
And I attune to the ring of fire. Just to put that.
There's a couple of things to do in town first, though, as well.
Oh.
Oh, what we
Yes.
got?
I believe you guys commissioned me a set of armor.
We did.
Yes, that's true.
Did
We should go get that.
Okay, perfect. We're going into town. Yay,
And I
for
believe I should have some
Kesh'an.
fabrics as well to pick up.
Yeah. We already paid for the armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did.
Because you provided all the scales.
Yeah.
And then a small fee on top.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
should...
Yeah, you lower yourself down out of the deck of the ship and into the bustling, colorful desert city of Gaidia. There is colorful silks, and there is like a breeze in the air, the smell of spices as you go through the marketplaces. All genasi of all kinds, and there seems to be a crowd of people around one of the town criers, and you see a lot more earth genasi as well than there were before. And the town crier is saying something along the lines of plane-wide evacuation. Breaking news. The earth plane has been broken, shattered. There's refugees coming down the Shimmy River. Gaidia said to offer aid to Earth Genasi fleeing from the Earth plane. And yeah, this town crier continues to call out, and you see other people kind of like looking around like, what happened? Shattered? How? And yeah, if you remember, they were on the highest level of the sevenfold maze. And so evacuating is a simple case of sort of just going up one level out of the fulcrum and out of that cave that you emerged, which was somewhere north of the Shimmy River. I believe that's where you first entered in. And yeah, as you look around, you see up and through the arched gates of Gaidia, where there are many guards sort of trying to organize these refugees who are coming in the droves. And what was once before a very strict entry, you remember how hard it was just getting into Gaidia. It seems as though now the gates are just wide open and they're letting people in droves, and they're actually putting an effort into caring for their people. And even the Sultan has made an appearance. He seems to be on his own, like, what are they called? Palantir? That's the one. He's on his own, like, Palantir. Palanquin, thank you. That's the one.
Yeah, Palantir's the thing in Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Yeah. That's the orb, yeah.
I mean, if they're going around on one of those, that would be interesting.
That'd be sick, actually. You know what? Yeah, it's his own version of a palanquin. It's actually just like this large orb that is like got pillows on the top, and he is directing people, but he's never once been seen outside of his lofty heights in the domed temple of Gaidia, the like cathedral or whatever it is. Palace, that's the one. Now he's actually amongst the people and helping them out, and it seems like he has certainly taken a change of heart since you last encountered him. And so yeah, real changes happened in Gaidia, and yeah, there's a relief effort to try and home and shelter these Earth Genasi. And Taklo kind of whispers to you, Karius, like, see? It looks like people survived. They live. They made it out in time.
Yeah, that's good to see. And then Karius. Do I have access to the spell? I don't have that spell on Karius. Why am I thinking I have that spell on Karius? Karius is gonna say, could you go pass a message to the Sultan for me, Taklo?
Yeah, sure.
I'll speak into your head when you get there.
Okay. I flutter up over towards the Sultan, who you see as they get close, there is a griffin rider that swoops down and spreads out its wings, buffeting poor Taklo away. They're going to do a little few spins like, ah!
I'm going to have to just
Wait,
do this.
I'm
I have to do this
Karius,
myself.
You remember?
Yeah, Karius will walk up and go, don't mind him, he was doing me a favour. I need to speak with the Sultan if that's okay.
He turns back to the Sultan, and the Sultan gives a nod and welcomes you forward. And the orb kind of lowers down towards the ground so that you can better talk to Ember. Cinder. Helidus.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Yeah. Karius is just gonna, once the orb's down, is just going to sort of reach into their bag and pull out 500 gold and just pull it in the palanquin. Just say, to help the refugees.
You needn't offer your gold. I was gonna use some of mine.
I have my reasons. Just please.
All right.
I've taken that off my sheet.
Thank you for your donation. We'll make sure it gets to good use.
Yes, thank you. I'd appreciate it. But it's
always has a surprisingly higher pitched voice than what you'd imagine.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, that is his voice.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that these people will be getting the aid they need, and hopefully one day in the future they'll be able to go back to their own lands.
Well, what kind of sultan would I be if I didn't offer help to people in need?
Exactly. Now, good on you, Helidus. And with that, Karius will walk away to rejoin the group.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Griffin Rider lets out a little squawk, and you head back.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Taklo. I didn't realize they were gonna be quite that defensive about you.
Yeah. I guess he's still the Sultan, and he needs protection, especially since it's one of the first times making appearances.
Yeah.
No one sees the Sultan, so they say.
Yeah. No one should be a Sultan the Sultan.
Sultan the Sultan. Yeah. I guess that's a phrase that might not stick around anymore.
Yeah.
Change has made its way to Gaidia.
Yep.
Okay, so
let's go get what we need, I guess.
Right. So heading over to man. Let me find my old notes. Jeez. It's the old hunting ground, stomping ground.
We want
Place called.
Do we
Yeah.
want to visit your family before you go? Say goodbye.
Yeah, I probably should.
And on the ride over, I'll do a bit of scrying along the way.
Okay.
Just quick question reminding me of some of the items that are on my sheet. Was the basilisk
Yeah.
stuff that I have something that we got down in the Earth plane, or did I get that before we went to the Earth plane? So I've got basilisk eyes, basilisk hide, and a greater basilisk gullet, which looks like I can use it as a thing.
That would be from the dungeon near the dry oasis. That's
Yeah.
Euterpe's basilisks, I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means
Okay,
that Llyvelin will be
so-
aware I have them. I wasn't sure if it was something I need that would be worth trying to donate to his book.
Oh,
We've had
right.
that discussion already, I
Oh.
believe.
Wow, I found it. Kalhata's Cage. This is a monster hunter, retired now.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is who you got to make the armor? Question mark?
Yes.
I think it is. Yeah, fantastic, great. So Kalhata, the old battle axe, she's like missing an eye. There's many scars over her form, and you walk into this kind of shaded back alley, and you have to open like a curtain of chains. Normally, like you see beads, colorful beads in like shop fronts, but this one's made of chains. And as you enter into the shop, you see there's loads of empty cages, and there's plaques with all kinds of monstrous trophies adorning the shelving. Behind a fortified front desk, like there's like metal bars. You see she is busy, probably sharpening some sort of blade, trying to get rid of the rust on an old scimitar. And she kind of like blows the metal shavings away. Says, "Ah, you're back. Kalhata's been waiting for you. Your scale mail armor is complete. Get a load of this." And she like leans down from the front desk, pulls out this kind of trunk, and pops the case open. And laying inside on a velvet pillow is a ruby red glistening scale mail armor fit to your specifications, Eirina.
Isn't it
And
blue?
it glistens with magic. I thought it was red.
I was
But
going
where
to say,
would
but it's blue dragon scales.
yeah, where would we
Are
have
they?
got red? Where would we have got red
Yeah.
dragon scales from?
Yeah, the blue dragon scales from the lightning dragons that were attacking Karius' family.
Oh shit! Was it
Well,
really?
we-
Oh, wow.
we-
Okay.
I don't
Oh,
think
you know what I'm
I don't.
thinking of. I know what I'm thinking of. Sorry, I'm thinking of Chadnez. He's also
Yeah.
got a scale mail.
Yeah, I
which
was
is
just
ruby.
thinking. I don't think we've
Where we got the
faced
idea
any.
from.
I don't think we've faced any red dragons yet, have we?
No.
No.
But yeah, we got
Definitely
the scale mail idea from seeing
Yeah.
Chad wear his.
Oh wait, there's a
That's
bit of
right.
a veneer over the top. It's actually let me just rub that off.
It's
See,
really-
it's actually sapphire blue.
Ah, yes. It's a bit dark in here. It is like super dark. She like lights up a torch, and reflects the sapphire blue, scintillating scales of a blue dragon scale mail armor, +1. Right.
Yeah. No.
So, if you
Try it on, Eirina.
try it on.
Yeah, the librarian's coat is sort of like the first time she's sort of taken it off, really. She lives in this thing. Removes the old armor. And puts the new
Alright.
armor over the top of the lumpy knitted jumper she wears.
Okay. Let's see what it gives your AC. So, this dragon scale mail is made of blue dragons. While wearing the armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC You have advantage against saving throws against the frightening presence and breath weapon of dragons, and you have resistance to lightning damage, since this is blue dragons, yes. Additionally, you can focus your senses as an action to magically discern the distance and direction of the closest dragon within 30 miles of you that
Ooh.
is of the same type as the armor as well. So, yeah, you feel as soon as you put this on a sudden distant connection to the dragonflight that reside within the Mirage Mountains.
Didn't didn't they migrate to an island that we found?
They want to,
yeah.
but that's where Kesh'an went. They went to seek out new lands for them to inhabit.
Mm.
So maybe they've got back by now. Maybe they've started to move on, but well, I'm going to say not quite yet. They haven't. And there's another dragon even closer than that, and it is Eirina, the magnetic, who's probably
Oh,
still
yeah.
enjoying the high life of Gaidia's pleasures, you know. So
I have a quick question regarding the armor.
Yeah.
My AC has dropped.
Well, your AC was really random before. It was flat. I'm not sure why, but what was a chain shirt? It was 13 AC plus 2 dex, right? And then you get a
Yeah,
shield.
plus the helmsman's shelter.
Oh, okay, so you haven't got that equipped. There you go. Bang, 19.
Oh, there we go.
That's the one. That's the ticket.
There we go.
Cool. So yeah, it does increase your AC by 1. You get damage resistance, and
I was just very confused because it dropped. I was
And-
like, I couldn't figure
and
that out.
I'm just gonna say that advantage on frightening presence and dragon's breath is kind of really good for the Shattered
Yeah.
City.
Real good.
You
real good.
saw. You
Anybody want
remember
this
what?
chain shirt?
Oh,
It's
covered in sand.
I'll give
Karius
it a
just
good
looks.
shake out.
Karius just looks at that half plate, and I'm just like, I'm good.
I'll prestigitate it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to sell it back to them? You can if you want. You want to get like a
I mean,
bit
I
of gold
just
for
don't
it?
need it, and it's weighing me down.
I'll happily buy it off your hand for 25 gold.
Sold.
Ching.
What's this? What'd you sell back?
My chainmail.
Oh.
There you go.
25
I've added
gold.
I've added it to your sheet for you. Okay, so yeah, as you attune to the armor, you can't help but get some memories flooding back of the shattered city, those shadowy streets where people were trying to avoid even being out in the open. You remember wings, distant flapping, the sound of these creatures roaring out in the stormy sky. Everyone lived in terror in that place of the dragons that roamed the shattered city, the corrupted beings that were once perhaps beautiful dragons in their heyday have since been turned to
Which is
otherworldly
interesting because I had
monsters.
no memories of inside the shattered
Ah.
city when I took out.
That's very true. Well, here you go. I'm breaking the rules. There is suddenly this weird connection. Like, as I say, this thing does give you the ability to sense dragons within a 30-mile radius, and maybe it's this latent memory that comes to fruition as you bond with the scales. And so, yeah, you do absolutely receive that image of a distant memory. You remember there were dragons in the Shattered City, a great number of them. Powerful ones. There you go. New memory restored.
Mm-hmm. I
Uh,
will keep it to myself for the time being.
Yeah.
no worries.
Is there anywhere in town that sells armor? Just normal armor?
Yeah, here. Right here. A lot of it's made of monster parts, but, you know.
Do you have the equivalent of plate armor?
Plate. Yes, yes. She kind of leans down and fetches something. This was made of an old golem that we defeated. The rogue didn't fare too well. Thought he could sneak past it, but didn't realize it had some sort of blind sight. Squashed our rogue in one fell swoop. Don't worry, I've buffeted out the stains. But
What sort of
This is a
golem was
full-
it?
that's a good question. It would have been it would have been iron, right?
Yeah.
Iron golem. Yeah. Yeah.
Well-
Big metal one. I tore off
Yeah.
some of the plating after we defeated it and fashioned it into this armor.
Yeah. That'll.
It'll set you back some.
How much we talking? I think it's 50.
1,500 gold.
And how much if I put my half plate down as
Towards it.
yeah.
Half plate will give you, what was it 750 normally? So half of 750 is 375.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And Karius will indicate the
cost you 1,125.
yeah, well Karius will indicate the markings that he has on his half plate for his religious iconography, because he's got sort of that deity on the chest plate. How much if I get this engraved on the new one? And is there a way to make it blue? Like the same shade of blue? Basically, I want it to match the old one, but just be a bit more protective.
Yes, I have a few dyes. Many creatures can give a powder and crush up their shells. You can create dyes from them. We can stain it blue.
That would be great.
If you want to add that, we'll say an extra 50 gold will get you the engraving and colored dye.
Okay, so that will leave you with 912 gold. So I will remove my half plate, add on plate armor. Because, you know,
It
don't
is
think-
heavy. Like, wow. Okay, they took some plating off the Iron Golem, but damn, this thing weighs you down. You've got enough strength to pull it off, but with all the other weapons you've got, you are reaching max capacity. Like, I'm looking at your encumbrance, and you're like 40 off being over encumbered.
yeah, but, you know, that's because I also have a ton of weapons on me. I've got the Night Veil Scythe, the Geoflail, the Mounting Cracker, my Glaive of Flying, Wakebender's Liamano. I've also got an Adamantine
you are-
Shield.
Absolutely kitted out, like freaking Monster Hunter over here, like
Yep.
wielding so many heavy ass weapons.
Yeah.
But thankfully, that belt of Dwarvenkind is keeping your constitution up, and
Yep.
you don't get too tired carrying it all around with you.
Yeah.
I just worry about the glaive. I don't think you can carry another person with you if that's all on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Glaive. What is the Glaive's capacity? Because it can carry up to 400 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know why I
So-
remembered 400. But there it is.
And
Okay.
I don't know how much I am. can take away the note that I have of the deposit of 1,000 gold for the blue scale, because we've done that.
Fantastic. Wait, a
Yeah.
deposit of 1,000 gold.
Well, I did a deposit of 1,000 gold, and I think other party members did as well. So I think we'd paid for it, but in advance, I'm pretty sure.
I'll have to go back and watch that episode at some point to figure out if you did or not. If you did just put a deposit down and whether you were going to pay the rest later, or whether you all put a deposit down, I'll figure it out later though.
Yeah. But yeah.
In any case, got your new shiny armor from Cal Hatter's cage.
Yep.
If you find any more monsters, don't forget to carve off a trophy and bring it back.
Well, if I had my way, I might bring you pieces of primordial in the future, but
if you don't die. I heard the news. Sounds like the Earth plane's crumbling to pieces.
yeah.
Well, if that thing ever emerges, yeah, I'll be sure to count you among the ranks.
Exactly. But thank you for the armor and everything. And is there anything else anyone else needs? I realize I've been doing the talking.
There is one place I'd like to check. I'll meet you wherever you need to be. I head back to Chad's casino.
Okay.
There's a certain wand of wonder that needs a table rolling.
Oh, God. You want to get a wand of wonder? Okay.
We're hoping for. Do you want me to roll
casino.
the D10,000?
What other prizes
yes,
were
you
there?
can.
Yeah.
Damn it. Not lower enough.
2,991? That's pretty low.
It's
I mean,
it's low, but it's in Chad coins, so technically it's like 8,000 and odd gold.
in Chad coins.
A Chad coin is a quarter of a gold coin,
That's
if I remember correctly.
true. Thing is, though, I think the prices were based on that price. The D10,000 is based on like the gold cost of it. So it's 2,991 gold, but in Chad coins it's something different.
You like 5.
Does someone have 21 coins?
I don't
Yes.
think I've got any.
I do, Llyvelin. You see, Urigun, the magnetic.
Oh,
Fancy seeing you here, Llyvelin. Well,
where's the list gone?
back from your adventures, are you?
It's in the
Yeah.
handouts.
Yes. Where are the handouts again?
So under the handouts folder, it's CC price list.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
There it is. So where's the wand of wonder? Yeah, see how it says 3,505 gold in Chad coins. So what you just rolled is 2,091 gold in Chad coins. So you're gonna have to work that out, which is
Yeah. Gold wise, I'm 21 gold off. Basically.
I see. Well, Uriun steps up and says, "Well, I don't mind having a little wager with you.
Oh no.
What
Unless
do you
we
say?
unless we prefer a wand of magic missiles. Oh wait, no, the wand of magic missiles is actually in Chad coins. Yep. Go on then. What's happening here?
Well, we can play any game you like.
I didn't want this to be about gambling.
What
Why
do
is
you
this?
mean? It's a casino, my friend. Isn't it all about gambling?
We just play around a blackjack.
Here's Jurgen.
Well, considering where I've just come from, how about we play a death roll?
Death roll. All right, you're on. How much are you wagering? 22, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. That should be nice and easy. Very quick. Since it's only is it 22 Chad coins you need, or 22 golds worth of Chad coins?
22, 21 golds worth is exactly what I need.
Okay.
Which is what, like
Don't-
80 Chad coins? Or is it the other
80
way around?
84 Chad coins.
All right, let's start it off then.
Oh no, the other way
Um,
around. Yep.
It is the other way around.
Yeah, the other way around.
But we'll start it off at 22 then, because it's 22 gold. So you roll a d22. First one to roll a 1 loses.
Yeah. Watch this happen immediately. A D22, you said.
That's right. That's the wager.
Oh, there you go.
And he rolls pretty good, pretty good. All right. Let me see. He shakes up a d20, throws it out. Ooh, down to 8 already. Ooh, okay.
I rolled the 8 on the 8.
Someone's rolling high today.
Ah.
7. Lucky 7. He gives a wink.
Oh,
Another 7.
odds. Oops, one sec. I did
You're
that
supposed
one
to-
wrong.
Did
1d7.
you?
Yeah, that time I
think-
forgot the 2.
I don't think you did actually. It looks right.
No.
All right. 2. Oh, you put me in such a difficult position. A 50-50 it is. Oh, come on, Yurayun. Daddy needs a new handbag. No! Curses! Ah. Well, this was fun still. But I guess it's all yours. And yeah, you see Falfur, the referee here, slides you the coins.
Yeah.
Winner, Llyvelin Ironwood.
Thanks, Yuriyun. You can keep the change to get yourself a drink. And I'll cash in for the Wand of Wonder.
Hey, there you go. See,
Uh,
that wasn't too hard, was it?
I could have easily lost. But Yep.
But you didn't, because Llyvelin's a winner.
I knew that was
going
gonna be a-
to
quick game, so
Beebs. Yeah, it's the quickest one you can get. All right, you go head over to Beebsmill. Beebsmill. Man, I named some crazy NPCs back in the day, huh? Anyway, you can exchange over a big stack of Chad coins and get yourself a new shiny wand.
nice.
And as per usual, you hear Chester over the intercom, I guess. It is Chester saying, "We have a big spender. Llyvelin Ironwood just purchased a Wand of Wonder. Doo-doo-doo. Get your new bets in. These items are going fast."
Anyway, thanks. Give Chad my best. Off I go. Oh, Kesh'an, you were waiting for me.
He was. He's
Yeah.
like probably resisting jumping into one of the tables of blackjack.
Right.
Okay. And
I really
Yeah.
didn't want to forget. I think I remember putting it in my notes. Don't forget to roll Wand of Wonder, and then I almost forgot about it. After
Got
2
lucky
years.
there. 2 years, walks in, low rolls, gets the last remaining gold he needs, and then just walks out. Bang. That's like a boss. All right. Look at
I
that.
cast fly on myself and Kesh'an, then head back to the airship.
Back to the issue. All right. That's all right. Is there anything Andy wants to do in Guidia before they leave?
No, nothing I can think of off the top of my head.
Okie dokie.
She probably
Did
just
you ever wanna
tries to resist pinching bread from every stand they go by.
Snoke may have given you a little lunch to take, like a packed lunch.
Mini lunchbox.
Fabulous.
Yes, little spider-themed lunchbox.
Nice.
Did you want to go to the dry oasis as well? Or I mean, Eirina might, because there is the tower there where you're expecting to get.
Yeah,
a
I want to
lesser.
find some appropriate fabric for my project.
Ah, okay. You want to do that in here in Guidia?
I'm wondering if I can find something in Malone's tower that might better suit what I need.
Trying to think
Or
if
do you
there
reckon I
was
can find
something.
something here?
You can definitely buy something here for sure.
Cool. Then we'll look around here.
Oh.
It's fine.
Actually, there was someone in Dry Oasis who you had a good rapport with, who sold all kinds
Yeah,
of threads. That was that
I'm
little
sure I
fox.
was going to order fabric from them, but can't remember if I bought it or not. I don't see anything on my sheet, so I wasn't sure.
Then likely you didn't yet.
Because it's where I got the cord thread from.
Okay, yeah, that was her. All right, well then we'll say load up on the airship. We'll head over to the Dry Oasis first, because Rylea Port is obviously a better place to depart from if you're heading to Midra. So, all right, we'll head over there. Zoop. And yeah, just a brief description of how the airship works once again, because it bears remembering that this runs on a fuel source that you have a finite amount of. But Kesh'an begins to meditate with the crystal in the back of the ship, like the engine room. And it is this powerful moonstone that, when it resonates with Kesh'an, enchants the clouds around the airship to cause a lift. And it's like casting levitate on the entire ship itself. And as these like prismatic looking clouds lift up the airship, that it slowly but surely kind of burns off the moonstone. And yeah, you set sail. The side sail's gonna sprout out, and yeah, you've got your flying airship that just sails like a trout through the sky. Yeah, and you land safely down in the Dry Oasis, or you can hover up if you're only going to drop by and then rappel back up. It's up to you. But liftoff is quite a big. Yeah, that's what I thought, because it's actually the hardest part about lifting off is getting a cloud to come down to lift the airship up. It's the hard part. So it's oftentimes better to just keep the airship in the air, stationary. So. All right, back to the Dry Oasis.
Don't we park it with an immovable rod?
I don't remember. Do you?
I think we
Possibly.
do. We park it with an immovable rod so it doesn't float off somewhere.
Fantastic. Well, do that then.
All right. We got like a mechanical immovable rod from the ancient gnome tribe from the archipelagos.
Not as shielded by the high city walls of Guidia, there is a small sandstorm sort of blowing into your faces, and you have to kind of like wrap up before you get down and descend into the streets of the Dry Oasis. And you can quickly locate Vara, who is the little fox, the kind of desert fox.
Oh yeah.
Like humanoid of this silk store here, and Nara as well was another silk seller, textures and all kinds. But yeah, you can easily get to them. And what more did you want to purchase from them, Eirina?
Yeah, I just need enough fabric that's sturdy enough to,
Mhm.
Do what I need it to do.
Any particular colors you had in mind?
We're gonna go with black for the most part.
Okay.
And maybe find some like purple thread.
Black and purple thread. Okay. Yeah. I think that's easily achievable. We'll put you back. Let's see what our fine clothes actually priced at. I think they're 50. Oh no, they're 15. Okay. So I'll say 20 gold will get you the finest fabrics
Sweet.
that money can buy in the Dry Oasis.
Yeah.
Okay. And add fine clothes to your sheet. And then I'm going to edit black, silk, and purple thread. Did you want it silk, or did you want to just say?
It needs to be a fairly sturdy fabric.
30? Okay.
So maybe sort of it's silk in look, but not silk.
Okay. There it is
That
then.
can be pretty sturdy.
Can be.
Okay.
It's like
Okay, well then we'll go
You
with
just put-
silk, but
I've just put black sturdy fabric on your fine clothes there. But cool. All right, they're added, and yeah, as well as here, there are also refugees. Probably less amount, since this place is just not well equipped to handle a mass load of people at once. There's hardly enough water to go around as it is, but there are still Earth Genasi you can see that seem to have found their way here. Maybe because they prefer this place over the hustle and bustle of the city. If you wish to, you can stop by Malone's tower.
yes, I want to see if there's any mail.
Yes, there is. Okay. When you arrive, you see that unlock the passcode. It's all arcane locked up from last time. Do you remember what the passcode was? The passphrase?
I
But
can't
it's been
remember
so
what happened
long.
2 days ago, let alone 2 years ago, mate.
Yeah. All right. Well, guess you're not getting in then. I know you said something.
It was something like smoke, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wasn't it something to do with candlewick? Like you literally made candlewick go into it or something, or am I misremembering? Or is that
Oh
just
yeah,
how?
you went through the lock.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Malone's password was "Leave me Malone."
That's right.
That-
Probably was that,
that's
and then
actually
you reset
pretty
it, and you set a new lock, which would be, let's just say it was smoke for now. Yeah, the chamber revealed itself, and you head upstairs. And I'm almost certain I had some amazing art for Malone's abode. Nah, it
You
wasn't
do
this
have
one.
artwork from Malone's tower.
I do. It's just not in a handout. Oh well. Anyway, you go up into the circular tower, past the rugs and trinkets and tables and shelves filled with all kinds of books and knickknacks, all the way to the very top where you get to the sand fountain, I guess you could call it.
Hmm.
This marvelous invention was a way for her to kind of cast divination spells and the like. and at the top there's this like large kind of hourglass. As the sand filters down, it goes into gutters and other bowls that then, when they're filled up enough, tip, and then they send the sand down more little fountains. It just creates this kind of mesmerizing image of all these little sand waterfalls pouring down to one another into a central basin. And as those sands can be, oh, it's black sand as well, if I recall, as if it's like crushed up onyx. And using that sand, you can create that same sort of portal you did before as a connection. And there is a letter that kind of flutters in through the sand, and oof, it seems to be like this bird, this exotic looking bird made of black sand, spirals out of the basin with a letter clutched in its talons. And as it lands down onto the table, the sand just falls out and around, like the creature just drops back down into mundane particles, but it's covering that letter, which you can brush aside and open. And yeah, what the letter opener is like this little feather you just cut open the letter with, and inside is a long, detailed letter in reply to your first one. And I want to go more in depth into that, but looking at the time, we don't have much time left anyway. I will say I will prepare something for next session where we can actually like fully read out the letter.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
it does appear in very short. It's this continuation of Malone trying to remember who you are, the relationship you two had, and that being context for her actual place in time. And it's as if though she's still lost in this time, and she's trying to use you to tell her the memories that you shared. And there's a lot of questioning in that letter, so she's probing you for answers, but also you can sense there is a lot of self-doubt in herself, which is not normal for Malone. She's normally quite a confident, if not a little grouchy sometimes, and she's often like annoyed when someone questions her. It's as if you're pestering her, but now she's the one asking all the questions, and now she's
But
the
for
one showing a
everybody
bit
else
of
context, Malone is essentially like Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove.
yes, absolutely. She can be quite sharp, short, and what's the word? Patronizing at times. But it seems there's sort of a sign of weakness in her in this moment, and it's just a different pace. You're just not used to her being so maybe unsure of herself, and maybe even she regrets a lot. She's probably, in her mind, it weighs on her a lot that she never went in to the Shattered City after you, that she let her student go off into the unknown. Like, sure, it was a reckless thing that she told you not to do, but it still seems like she is torn about the whole ordeal, and maybe questioning whether she was a good teacher or not. And I'll go and embellish that a little bit more next session. I'll go into the full letter. But that's one thing that sticks out as she asks, "Was I a good teacher?" And yeah,
I'll
you can
sort
always
of prepare a response written wise for that, but I want to like I take out my journal, and in my journal there's almost like a portrait that was done of her, Malone, Smolder, and Zeno, and she's gonna
yeah.
fold that in with the letter.
Okay. And you'll write out a full written response for it. to
Yeah.
send back at some
Yeah.
point. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, how do you plan to perhaps receive the reply if, of course, you're going off to Terry's tower?
The only thing I can think of is to take some of the black sand.
Okay.
How big is this bowl?
I imagine this is the whole like back of the top floor. Like if you imagine where
Mm.
you're standing in the tower right now, so
Yeah.
it spans like 30 feet across and 15-foot back, and it's from the very top ceiling, and it filters all the way down into different bowls and different containers.
Mm. Okay.
Should-
Yeah, I'm gonna try and sort of scoop up. Well, I would gauge to be enough.
Okay.
Would you like
Um,
would you like an alchemy set full?
sure.
I have a pristine alchemy set that I've never touched.
That
Oh, really?
actually could work. You could set up the bottles and apparatus to create a sort of miniature little sand fountain
However,
with that stuff.
before you do that, would you want to join me in a couple of scries? Because you'll be able to watch then at least,
Okay.
and then we can put it. Yeah, because I remember this place had this, and it basically becomes like a scry portal.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So we-
the sand readily accepts divination magic, so it helps you concentrate and focus on those spells.
That'd be pretty cool.
But it's the components, right? If I remember, the reason why it's black sand is because
Mix.
divination requires where is it? I'm
Isn't it like
almost
a
certain
mirror
there's like
made
this,
of
or is it
onyx or
scry?
something?
Scrying
let me find
specifically is a
scrying.
black onyx.
There it is. Ah, perfect. So something like that is like a crushed up component, which they've kind of used in their own way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
Sorry.
like, I have an onyx, but it'd be cool if you guys all want to see who my target is. Who knows if we ever split up in the future, maybe you'll come across them. And I will try and scry on Dawn.
Ooh. Okay, let me bring up the stat block. Oh no, it's on the other game. Damn. Okay. In that case, we'll just roll a d20 and see what that happens. See what happens first. It's a wisdom save, correct?
It is, I believe.
Okay. Well, they're gonna have a high charisma, but 14. What's your DC?
20.
But what? No, it can't be 20. That's with the robes.
I don't have the robes equipped right now.
Well,
it
it should
shouldn't.
be 5 plus your intelligence plus 8. So 8 plus 10 is 18. The
Why is-
robes give you plus 2.
I don't know
Mhm.
why. What does it not include proficiency or something?
That's what the plus 5
Oh,
is. It should
sorry,
be
yeah.
10 plus 8.
Ah, so bit 18 then. I
Yeah. Because these sheets are all balked, and don't worry, we're going to have
yeah.
updated ones for
Oh,
when
okay.
we go over to the actual game. Still, okay. So that's just as a base DC is 18, but also if you own something or know the person, it increases that DC as well.
I
So, for example,
have met them
you have met them.
a couple of times.
Okay. So you know them firsthand, I would say. You have met the
Yeah.
target, but you're not familiar, which is like
No.
you know the target well. Okay, so then in that case, we'll just say you've met them firsthand. So that just is a 0 modifier, and you have no connection to the target, like a physical object. So there's no modifier there. So it's just a flat DC 18. Well, I hate to tell you, but they definitely have
Probably
more than
pass.
5 charisma. And
Yeah.
an aura of protection will absolutely enable them to gain a bonus to that wisdom save.
Yeah.
So you feel a presence as you're closing in around it, but there's this burning holy light that beams back into your eyes, like blinding you. You kind of fall backwards from the sand, and even Eirina sees it. It's like this ray of light that surges out, and yeah, it just pushes him away.
Yeah, this is not the first time that's happened. I guess on to the hopefully weaker one. I scry on Sersha. The one that,
Hopefully the weaker one. She's
Yeah.
gonna have the same aura of protection, my friend, if she's by his side.
but less of a save.
Ooh, but less wisdom for sure. And because you know them, you're familiar with Sersha, it would also give her a -5. So yes, Sersha is someone you can scry on.
Yeah.
They are. Oh man. Actually, oh look at that, we're out of time. It is right then when we're just completing the scrying spell. You're about to figure out where they are and how you can potentially hunt down Dawn and end your bargain with a pit fiend, so that your soul isn't isn't claimed. Who is Dawn? In the chat, Dawn is a powerful paladin known also as the Devil Slayer. How they got the name Dawn is because they served the Mother of Bones themselves. Baba Yaga is said to be so powerful that even dawn, day, and night serve her. And when they found out that those were quite literally manifestations in armored knights, riders as well, they have all got their own horse. Yeah, you soon found out Dawn is a brilliant, powerful knight of light and holiness. The embodiment of Dawn, you could say. And he had a deal with the hag. What that deal was, you're not sure exactly, but
My third was going to be to scry on Tidal Wave to make sure she's not died yet.
That's fair.
Not the
Okay.
horse, but yeah, not the horse,
all right.
James.
The third and final one, then, just before we close up tonight, is Calandroth. Let's quickly find Midra. This one I'm not going to roll because she will readily fail it for you, because you guys were friends. She would want you to know that she's okay. All the way in the fiery volcanic island of Calandroth is Tidal Wave and Shadow Storm. They look exhausted. They're panting. Sweat runs down their brow as they fight back to back, tooth and nail, against fiery mephits that kind of burst up from the cracks in the earth. Sky is filled with ash, and they continue to fight against these elementals, which threaten to scorch them and then free their master. This thing, this primordial, remains imprisoned, but that doesn't stop him rattling at the bars, and it's as if he's kind of pushed his fingers between the bars, severed them, and they've been born as these fiery little magmins and mephits, and they're just trying to wear Tidal Wave down and Shadow Storm, since they're the only ones trying to protect and keep this place safeguarded. Should they fail, we could have an eruption on our hands. But, yeah.
Karius, you want to make some amends by dealing with another primordial?
Well, if people are willing to take a detour, I'm happy to go fight one of those. Maybe I can help reinforce.
Yeah, it'd be more like reinforcing it and preventing it from escaping.
Yeah, exactly. Like reinforce
It would
the.
still be right. Yeah, that'd be cool if you want to do that. That'd be a huge boon to Tidal Wave, because it's
I
like one of
mean-
them's fighting throughout the day whilst another one tries to rest, and then they swap places.
I mean, I do happen to have 4 scrolls of magic circles, so it can stop elementals,
that
as
could
we've
help.
seen.
That's
True.
that's up
That
to
could be helpful.
you two as well. If you're okay with helping out someone in need?
It would be on the way to Midra, since it's on the west coast. But the last thing
guess.
you see of that vision is the tidal wave bringing up her signature spell, tidal wave, and extinguishing a whole like swath of fiery elementals, and you hear that sizzle as they extinguish, and that also extinguishes the scrying spells, like tss. And you see some of it actually splashes through the sand and makes the sand kind of soggy and wet. Grimoire makes a sandcastle. But there we go. I think that is where we will wrap up tonight. Lots
Yeah.
of moving things, lots of side quest potential. If you want to do those before you get to Terik's Tower, then by all means, you can take a little detour. And hopefully we'll see what Kesh'an has also been up to. But yeah, until then, we'll say goodbye for now.
Yeah.
Don't free any more elementals whilst we're gone.
Yeah. So we'll be back on Friday, the 7th of March, I believe, for this. But of course, join us Sunday for the Icewind Trekkers, Monday for the Jumping Junipers, Tuesday for the Mistaken, and Wednesday for the Icewind Dale group that still do not have a name.
Gotta hit him.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.